Hey guys, it's your main man Michael, and today you're watching a duel video of me playing Mermails Atlanteans. I'm playing as a clan member for Poetic Chaos, and you see that I heavy storm him there, getting that +1. And throughout this duel, you'll notice that I want to say that I drew probably more power cards. Um, Even though, I mean, he did draw like the God Z call, which is a fantastic card. Allows you to go into synchros easily. I just happened to pop it. But I think that you can really see like the power that these X-Sabers have if you watch this duel. Because there's a few times where like I just go plus on him a little bit, and I think because of that, like I'm just gonna smack him. But he like just slowly generates pluses too. I mean, I kill his Dark Soul, but then he replaces it with another monster. Then he plays Tenki, and which replaces itself with another monster. And I mean, he's able to put in some work. He summons that bear and beats over me by 100, gets the effect for another Tenki, and then pops my monster with the Tenki. So, I mean, that was really good. And here I have the Dark Hole. I just drew it, but I think I cop out to use it now because I mean, come on, a 1-for-1ing Dark Hole. That's not really too good. I figure I can just hold it until my opponent, has something that's really special and worth blowing up. I can't quite see what my play here. I believe that I go for the Deep Sea Diva, and yeah, you can say that I thought about this process for a while, because this is 3 times speed. So, but there is the Deep Sea Diva. I think I think about the play just a little bit here. I'm thinking of going into like a canister or a TG, but what I then think about? Oh, that's right. I have the mind control. I really want to play the mind control. So what I do is I go for the infantry, play the marksman, grab his monster with mind control, and then I try to get my attacks off so that I can special summon a dragoons for my deck using my dragoons and his bear. Sorry about that. That's my Steam. I play video games on Steam every now and then, but so I can use. So that's why I attack with marksman first, just in case he's gonna drop like a drag or something like that, because that's the attack that I really want to get through. So I call out the effect here. I do special summon the dragoons, which is gonna allow me to overlay with his bear, so he doesn't get it back. And he calculated all the damage, so there we go. We're gonna go and overlay. I do believe I go for a dweller. I figured the Dweller would be good against his deck for the simple fact that he has the Dark Soul plays, but it would also be good because of, yeah, and that's an illegal move there. You see I end up taking it back because it needs to be 2 waters. I realized that like right after doing it. But I go for the Dweller play, which I figure is probably the best move because while it had the water, it was going to increase all my monsters by 500. I wasn't really looking for that effect, but I was looking for the fact of stopping his Dark Soul searches. And I go for the Gungnir as well because I want to get rid of that face down Tenki that he had so he can't search. And I have the Dragoons in hand, so I'm just going to be able to add something anyways. But I figure I can get rid of Dark Soul searches with the Abyss Dweller, uh, and I figure that the Abyss Dweller, since it's a water, will allow me to get the Dragoon search off that's on it. So I go, best play right now. And here I am. So right now he's looking down at a field of like a 2,200 monster, 2,000 or 3,000 monster. But then he has the dark hole. I call out effect, however, on the dragoons or on the abyss dweller, detaching dragoons to get the effect off. And I add a marksman to the hand, hoping to draw another water. He goes for what? I hate that card. And he special summons another Boggart Knight, which lets him get the full troll, which lets him then special summon the Dark Soul from the grave. And here I'm weighing my options of whether or not I want to flip the Squall so that he can't do all this damage to me, because I do have a lead in the grave, so I could bring it out at 2,400 defense, and none of his attacks would be able to get through. Um, so I have my calculator next to me whenever I play serious games. So I minus the damage, and I figured that it dropped me down to 1,700. And while it's not a lot of life, I'm not running Solemn Warning anyways. So I let him do the damage. Just because I have the Dark Hole, and I looked on his field to make sure, that there's no tuners, and there aren't. And of course, you could go into Exceed plays, but there's no Exceeds really that were going to survive the Dark Hole except for Djinn, who I just run over probably, um, since I have Squall or Steel. But then he ends up going in the Diamond Wolf, which was really annoying, and popping his Dark Soul to get rid of my Squall. At this point, I had to remind him that I had used the Dweller, so you could call this somewhat of a misplay on his part. However, if he didn't get rid of the Squall, uh, the match would have been over immediately. I would have Dark Holed him, Squalled, and got out a plethora of monsters, I would have made the big guy. But I Dark Hole there and play the Abysphere face down, having drawn it over a monster. But at the same time, that's perfect as well. I can't remember if I go into a Pike play here or if I go for if I just go for another like Megalo. Okay, here we go. Oh my god, all these X-Saber cards, I can't remember all their names. I used to play X-Sabers too, that's the terrible part about it. We're just going to call him Hopper. But I do go into the lead here, and then I top deck the Reborn, and that's pretty much game, you guys, because once I top deck the Reborn, it's Summon Gun, Pop, Attack, Attack. But I hope you guys enjoyed this duel. It was really fun, it was really, crucial too. Really hard for me. X-Sabers are fantastic, but I end up 2-0ing him, so I don't have the other video though, you guys, but it was pretty swift. I'll see you guys later. Peace.